Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this special gathering. We are very thankful to Avisa and Active Sports for supporting us. Today is a very special day. It happens to be the birth anniversary of one of India's greatest cricketers and the individual under whose captaincy India registered her first test victory, Captain Vijay Samuel Hazare. Today, as we all know, a Ranji Trophy final is being played not very far from here, a few buildings away, in fact. And at the end of the second day, Mumbai is in a dominant position. But of course, it's a game after all. And we cannot be sure of the outcome until the last ball is bowled, the last run is scored, or the final wicket falls. There is a panel of speakers today. They would be speaking about their experiences or their recollections related to the Ranji Trophy. And we have a varied panel because we have a cricketer, we have a commentator, we have a physio. So it's a pretty rounded panel. So hopefully we'll get multiple perspectives on topics ranging from the pressures of playing Ranji Trophy, the pressures of watching, commentating on Ranji Trophy, and also the fitness related aspect, which is such an important and critical component of the game in today's times. I will begin this panel discussion by inviting the speakers one by one. But before that, just one particular story related to the birthday boy, Captain Vijay Samuel Hazare, also related to a Ranji Trophy final, the 1957-58 final to be precise, which was played between Baroda and the Services. When Vijay Hazare came into bat, Colonel Hemu Adhikari, who was the captain of Services, instructed Surendra Nath, his fast bowler, to bowl a bouncer to Vijay Hazare, and Adhikari had kept a fielder waiting for that top edge, and sure enough, Surendranath bowled a bouncer. Captain Hazare went for a hook, top-edged. And the fielder, unfortunately for the services, dropped a sitter. And Colonel Adhikari went up to the fielder and said, no problem. Now the next chance that Captain Hazare will give us is after he completes a double century. And that is exactly what happened. And Baroda won the Ranji Trophy for that year. And there is another curious connection of that particular 57-58 final to the match that is being played a few buildings away. Because it was after 57-58 that the Bombay, then known as Bombay, now known as Mumbai cricket team, began a run of Ranji Trophy titles that stretched for 15 consecutive years, from 58-59 to 72-73. So, without further ado, I would like to invite the panelists one by one. We'll start with the former Test cricketer, Mr. Ghulam Parkar. Mr. Hemant Kenkre. Yes. Dr.Aijaaz, Ashai. Yeah. And someone who has a very close connection with the greatest Ranji Trophy final ever played, Mr. Milind Wagle. We'll come to that, the greatest Ranji final. I think Milind Wagle sir will, I'm sure, dwell upon it. The first speaker for today is someone who played a lot of cricket on the Maidans of Mumbai, honed his talent and represented CCI with distinction. And also at the corporate level, he played a lot of cricket, got into journalism, also has been a cricket expert on radio and other multiple platforms, and loves the game passionately, dearly, has been a witness to several generations of cricketers coming up the ranks. And in fact, as he had himself famously said, he was the bridge between two generations of legends, because he was the one who handed over Sunil Gavaskar's leg guards to Sachin Tendulkar. Mr. Hemant Kenkre, I would request him to talk about his recollections of the Ranji Trophy and what, according to him, does the Ranji Trophy mean for Mumbai cricket in general, and to focus on all the great performances in the Ranji Trophy that he has seen so far.
Thanks, Devendra. I don't know if you can hear me, but thank you so much for having me here. Many congratulations to the gentleman who have started this exercise, which has taken a big hiatus. As we know that I was associated initially when the whole program of the Legends Club had started. Of course, this is not the Legends Club, let me clarify. And it was started by Vijay Merchant, who was our first president when I started playing for the Cricket Club of India in 78. Having said that, I think I just want to say one thing, just a small clarification, that before Sunil Gavaskar gave me a pair of pads and said, "Arey, tela jaun de." No, he wasn't that. He says, give it to him. But before that, it so happened that it's a very interesting story that there was a pair of pads which I had, which was handed over to me by Sunil when I was playing club cricket in England in 1980. And I wanted to buy a pair of pads. These were the lightweight pads made by a company called Morant.
Yeah.
Ghulam was also there in England in those days, I remember, playing for the same club. And he gave me these pads saying, don't waste money. And obviously, none of us had money in those days. You know, everything was in pounds. And even today, I don't have money. But those days was a different ball game. So I had these pads with me for many years. And I started my cricket under the great Vinu Mankat, just across the road in one ground after this at Hindu Gymkhana. And then moved on to Mr. Achrekar's team, Sasanian. And sort of Achrekar sir was like my mentor. And so he called me one day and said, "Kenkre, you know, your cricket is over." He just said, "Your cricket is over." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You have those pads?" I said, "Yes." He gave it to this young boy, okay? I'll send him to your house. So then he did send the young boy, you know, came in shorts and started, you know, his first, when I opened the door, this is how, you know, So that was Sachin Tendulkar. And those were actually, again, in a way, Sunil Gavaskar's pads, which were with me. That those pads unfortunately were with me from 1980 to 1986. And then went on to him. Those pads were old when he made his debut for Bombay in those pads. I still remember that. They had a blue lining inside and had a little sign called Bish. And I always wanted to ask Sunil what Bish meant for whatever it's worth. I mean, we all know what it's all about. Anyway, so those pads were given by Sunil after he realized that, he's not using pads which are good enough to play at a higher level. And that happened after he was picked for India. Now, having said that, the whole today's discussion, talk, seminar, whatever you want to call it, is on the word called pressure. And when you talk about pressure, a lot of people here probably may have heard of this, that the greatest comment any cricketer made about pressure was made by Keith Miller, who was known as Nugget because he was Golden Boy. He was also called Dusty because he took panga with the administrations. So Keith Miller not only was a great all-rounder, but was also a pilot in the Royal Australian Air Force, if it's called that. And so many years later, there was a journalist called Michael Parkinson who had a show on English television. And Michael Parkinson asked Keith Miller this question, saying that, so there must have been a lot of pressure, you playing the Ashes and you playing that. And he said, this is not pressure. Pressure is when you have a Messerschmitt up your backside. The Messerschmitt is that famous German bomber, which was feared by every Air Force pilot. So, I mean, you're not talking about cricketing pressure. Pressure is when you have a Messerschmitt, a ribbon, piloted by a Kraut or whatever they call it, on your backside. So that's exactly what explains the word pressure. Correct? Luftwaffe. Yeah. So the issue is, what is pressure is another story. Now, I'll tell you another wonderful. I've been very lucky because of having played even cricketing wise, sort of somewhere down the line, my generation, not just me, Ghulam also is very much part of it. So we were partners. We opened together for Bombay Schools, Bombay University, then the same club CCI, and also for a little bit in England. So Ghulam and I have had a lot of good and bad times. I mean, not always good times when batting together. And I've always been an admirer of his batting right from day one. And so we are very fortunate that we were lucky to actually have played with the seniors, not just seniors to Asa Gavaskar, Sardesai, but even the ones before that generation, people like, Polly O'Breaker, for example, And on this ground here, on Bapu Nadkarni, then later on, people like Ajit Wadekar sir, Dilip Sardesai, Madhav Apte. And so we are very fortunate. Then going back, playing with the generation which was our generation, which is for me, a test cricketer here, Ghulam Parkar, Dilip Sarkar, Sandeep Patil, then junior Ravi Shastri, Sanjay Manjrekar, right down to Sachin Tendulkar. So we've seen that whole, what shall I say, that whole, the cricketing world evolving from one generation to another. And believe me, one thing was common, and I saw it today. I saw the smile on Sunil Gavaskar's face about 2 hours ago at Wankhede. When the team returned undefeated, rather the two of them, Mushir and wonderful player Mushir Khan, and Ajinkya Rahane, the one and only returning back. And the man walks down from his seat inside, goes down to the pulpit, to the end of the corridor on the first floor to clap them in. That is Bombay spirit, That is what spirit is all about. So I'm sorry, I'm digressing a little bit, but I think it should be very well known that I have a lot of friends with whom I played club cricket, mostly club and corporate cricket, across the country. Some of them have played for the country, some of them have played national cricket. They all are extremely jealous of us Mumbaikars. You know why? Because we have meetings like this, where people meet to discuss cricketing matters and threadbare. So I think we are very fortunate, and I think we should continue this tradition. So thank you so much for the sponsors as well. Believe me, I mean it from my heart that I think you guys have done a great job by giving us this platform. Now, coming back to pressure, I'm not going to talk about Keith Miller and where the Messerschmitt was supposed to hit him. But I still remember a wonderful story which happened. We talk about pressure. Now, a good story, as my friend Sanjeev Samyal sitting here as a media person will know, always requires a big character, and the character in this case is Sachin Tendulkar. He started his senior level cricket at CCI, and I was very fortunate to have been his first captain by default, actually. So Sandeep was the captain, but he was not available. So it was me who went and tossed him, so I was his captain. And I still remember there was one particular match we were playing at the CCI, very important match, okay? I think it was a police shield, and it was a good team that we were playing against. And we also had a good side. We had Raju Kulkarni, Kiran More, a lot of Bombay players, a few India players. Sachin Tendulkar was a young boy. He had not played for Bombay, he had not played for India, but he was spoken about by everybody. For example, when he made his debut, his first match in the A division at Karnataka Sports Club against Karnataka Sports Club, Sharad Kotes had actually sent a photographer to click him. So that was the kind of, what shall I say, the euphoria that was being created. But who is this boy? Where is he going? Because of the runs that he had scored. And obviously our club, CC, had changed the rules. We had, given him membership at the age of 16, which was unheard of in those days because you can't enter the clubhouse if you're not 18 years old. Digressing again, but again coming back to the point. So we were standing before the match, before the game started. I was the captain and I was about to wait for the umpires to call us for a toss. And there was one gentleman, I don't want to name him, but he walks up to me from the opposition. And the opposition was a Dharpakat team. You know what I mean? The Dharpakat Catholic Gymkhana, they never had their own team. So they used to take 5 boys from this team, 5 boys from that team. Yaad hoga aapko. Chandu Pandey, usko bula ke they had a damn good team. So it was like almost playing against the rest of Mumbai kind of a team, right? So they were all there and we were all, obviously, everybody was on the edge. And we had this 14-and-a-half-year-old, not even 16 then, standing beside me. And so this guy came and, he, kaise ho? I said, I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing? So pressure hoga na, yaar, ye ladka acha hai, suna, kaisa khelta hai? He asked me. I said, you will watch him now. He's going to play now. You'll see how good he is. So, अच्छा. तो लेकिन उसके ऊपर बहुत प्रेशर होगा ना कि इतना बड़ा CCI में खेलने का. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm speaking in Hindi. He must be under a lot of pressure, that he's actually playing in such a big atmosphere with all these people like Dungarpur and Hanuman Singh and Nari Contractor and Gavaskar and Dilip Sandesai, all, like around. So I just turned back and Sachin was standing just next to me and I said, he asked me a question. So Sachin said, huh? He said, you must be under a lot of pressure. You know what he did? He just looked at him and said, pressure? That's it. At that age, if somebody could have that kind of, and that came from his heart, he was not a name. I mean, obviously he was an up and coming name. So to me, I think it's an individual thing. The doctor here will bear me out. It's, I think, very individual. A lot of times pressure is created by us as cricketers, whatever level we play. I think it's fear of failure is the biggest pressure problem that cricketers or any sportsman will have. Sirish will bear me out. Fear of failure, fear of failing because you have a reputation, you have a name. So maybe that could contribute to pressure. I don't know. There could be many reasons. But when we, as a member of the Tata Sports Club team, which won many Time Shield championships from the mid-80s to the 90s, or many championships, including the Time Shield, from the mid-80s to the 90s, it was almost like an India team, 7 or 8 current India players, Dilip Sarkar, Ravi Shastri, Kiran More, Raj Kulkarni, Lalchand Rajput, वगैरह, playing against us, people like Ghulam, Parkar, Ashok Mankad, Vijay Patel. So I saw that lot of the Mafatlal, the great Mafatlal team of which Ghulam was very much a part of. And I was like this fly on the wall sitting and watching my team and their team. And I saw the way that they dealt with pressure. I don't think anybody looked out of place there. They were very cool. Nobody looked like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to play so-and-so. It's a turning wicket and I'm going to play Paddy Shivalkar. Or the other way around. It's like I'm going to play Yograj Singh on a green top or a Raju Kulkarni on a green top. Never. And that's what we learned from seniors. I mean, all of them were so cool. And I think the last incident about Ranji finals, and I would say pressure, was with my dear brother-in-law. I mean, he became my brother-in-law much later. We talk about G.R. Vishwanath. And so I was a big bhakt of Irapalli Prasanna. I still am. I think it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me as a youngster growing up. So I never ended up bowling off spin, but I adored him. And Vishy knew that. So I used to actually hang out outside the Karnataka, wherever they were staying, whenever they came to play here. And I remember that particular game, after we lost to them in 73-74, the next Ranji final was held here at the Wankhede, 75.
Newly built,
yes. Ashok was, I think, correct. The first final after it was built. Kaka Ashok Bhai was the captain of the team. I was obviously, just as a fan, going to watch the game. So I went down in the morning to Natraj Hotel, which is now the Intercontinental, where just around the corner here, straight down, to meet Vishy, because Vishy said, come and have breakfast with me. I said, okay. So obviously I reached a little early. So I went up to the room and, I woke both Mr. Kidmani and Mr. Vishwanath up. And they were both in towels and I woke them up and okay, sit down, we'll have breakfast. So, and I saw the way the Karnataka, they're the first day of the match. They were actually walking to the Wankhede Stadium, They're going to play against the Gavaskars, Tarsan Ghauri, Abdul Ismail, Padmakar Shivalkar, Ashok Mankad, Sunil Gavaskar, Eknath Solkar, top team. And the way that they were so relaxed, And I remember, like, as a fan, I obviously went across to Prasanna sir and said, "Can I hold your bag?" Which was like, literally, so I carried his bag. I remember walking down from Natraj Hotel to the Wankhede Stadium, which is about 10 minutes. They were so relaxed, And today, when you look back and we talk about pressure, I think the pressure is also built by us, the fans, more than the cricketers. I think we take more pressure in an India-Pakistan match than a Virat Kohli or a Mahendra Singh, whoever playing for India now, Rohit Sharma or Babar or anybody else from India or Pakistan take. So I think we are the ones who create that pressure. We are the ones who build that pressure, because the story eventually is something which I saw in a video which Sachin had given, which had spoken about some time back, is that they are playing cricket. They are not under pressure as much as we are, as the fans are. We are under pressure. Oh, he played a bad shot. Oh, he did that. So it's very easy to turn the tables and say, ye to tum aise hi khelte the, because the game is over. So I think the pressure element is something which obviously Ghulam will be in a much better position, because he's been there and done that. He's handled it to tell you. But I think pressure is something we fans put on ourselves and assume that the players are taking it. That's another way that I would look at it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Some statistics. What is currently happening at the Wankhede Stadium is the 89th Ranji Trophy final. We are in the 89th season of the Ranji Trophy. It should have been 90, but as we all know, because of COVID, there was no Ranji Trophy in 2021. So this is the 89th Ranji Trophy final going on. As of now, Mumbai have won the titles 41 times out of 88. And hopefully, if all goes well, it would be 42. But again, it's up to how both the teams fare on the last 3 days of the game. We have with us someone who knows what it feels like to get his hands on that trophy. A 3-time Ranji Trophy winner, played in 3 victorious Ranji Trophy finals for Mumbai, Mr. Ghulam Parkar. So I would like to request, sir, you can sit and बैठ के बोल सकते हैं. You can sit. So I would like to request him to talk about his memories of the Ranji Trophy finals and how he and his teammates handled pressure.
I'll start first with 80-81 when Eknath Cholkar was captain of Mumbai. Bombay, top players of Bombay went to Australia with Indian team. So we had all youngsters except Solkar and Kaka, Ashok Mankad. Okay, the good thing we did was practicing together for whole year at Wankhede. We practiced very hard, exercise, running, everything. So practice made the pressure went away, and we got all confidence. The confidence was such that it oozes out. Even the opponent took it. Yeah, I'll mention the very first ball of Ranji Trophy final. There was one opener from Delhi. He was wearing those same pads which he was mentioning. The negative thing of that pads was, if you are not technically correct, the ball will bounce bat and pad up in the air and you can get out. The same thing happened. Sunil, first ball, that batsman played bat and pad straight to the hand ball. But very first ball, umpire is not ready to give out. So that is now Bombay first 45 for 3. And myself and Ashok Mankad. I remember before lunch I was just making my strokes. After lunch I played my strokes and we had a partnership of 298 with Ashok Mankad. Ashok Mankad scored double century. So it is in the captaincy, Eknath Cholkar. We are playing, we are confident, we are सब एक दूसरे का साथ देते थे. So, and we played as a team, and we had good fielding also. Fielders, Ramnath Parkar and every good fielding side. And the next match is Karnataka and Mumbai. And even Delhi, those times, what cricket was in India was Delhi, Bombay, North, West. Sometimes Karnataka used to pop in. Otherwise, no cricket also. Not BCCI has done very well, to spread the games to all throughout the India. That made changes in Ranji Trophy also. First, it was only league matches. We were playing home and away. But now it is everywhere. There's good thing to do. And the wicketkeepers, pitches also improved. Board has taken a lot of मेहनत बहुत लिया the ग्राउंड बनाने का सब किया तो ये और विश्वनाथ की बात कर रहे हैं हम क्या विश्वनाथ जब बैटिंग को आता है ना स्टेडियम से before coming there he was standing ovation, he used to get standing ovation तो बैटिंग आ रहा है उसको मैं देखा यहाँ पे सिंगल विकेट विजय मर्चेंट शो कर रहा उसका ये एंड 3 प्लेयर भी हो गए ना स्लिप से पॉइंट 3 प्लेयर जब भी उसके बीच में से मारता है उसके क्लासिक और सुनील गावस्कर मेरा पार्टनर था he used to appreciate even when I was playing with him and even playing against the other union. I hit stroke. We started on swing. Yes. He appreciate me in the city. Beautiful. And even batting together also. He has a lot of given me sort of encouragement. The CCI also I want to give youngsters and your sons even advice that play for the good teams, 4 teams or 2 teams, final और सेमीफाइनल वो टीम को ही खिलाना चाहिए अपने सन्स को क्योंकि वो टीम ज़्यादा खेलती मैचेस और उन पे प्लेयर अच्छे होते हैं तो वन गेट्स एक्सपीरियंस विद देम और ज़्यादा मैचेस खेलते तो परफॉर्मेंस करने के लिए ज़्यादा चांस मिलता है So I was playing for Parsee cyclist first, and I think percentage में खेलता तो CCI वाले खाली एक्टिंग करेंगे क्या ऐसा क्रिकेट तो मैं हंसता था हम लोग लेकिन first then I joined them only. Yeah. Now apart from this. I told Marcus that I'm going to say few getting real jokes, very nice jokes. The first one I'll explain, and the other one is 1 in 2. You will get. Let me go to my favorite point. See the point position. Now this is school style. There was one bowler there. He did it well. Okay. Now, after bowling, he's placed in the facility, he's placed in the extra cover. What happened behind it didn't know. Batsman went there. Both the batsmen are there. Now the fielder thought, instead of throwing for our bowler took the catch, he's back into batting. And another joke. I was keeping wickets. One different, both are different. Before run, he bowled very well. After run, very first ball, Kenkre make noise, boom. तो बैट्समैन इधर का है इधर के मेंबर बैट्समैन इधर फर्स्ट इवेंट को हिट वो समझा क्या है? He is asking umpire. Umpire, did you show no?
How did you get a chance to keep wickets at Parsee? Because when he was not.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's like I kept cricket for Bombay schools,
Yeah.
Bombay University,
Correct.
and India.
He's asking how did Vijay allow you to keep
Yeah, he was not there.
You were not there, he said.
And against the 82 India series, there was 2 unofficial one-day games against Ireland. I kept wicket both the games, and I took 5 catches and 1 run out. And I took fielding plus keeping wickets. That's rare. Thank you very much.
Ghulam sir was referring to the 82 series, India's tour of England in 82, where Syed Kirmani was the main wicket keeper, and we did not send a reserve keeper as such. I think Sir and Yashpal Sharma were expected to chip in and do the reserve wicket keeper's job. Something similar happened in 96 when Nayan Mongia was the only keeper and Rahul Dravid and Sanjay Manjrekar were deputizing for him whenever required. Shardul Thakur recently made a comment that the BCCI should think about increasing the gaps between matches because the players are not having much time to recharge the batteries and recoup. We have with us someone who is into fitness and has had a long and glorious distinguished innings as physio, especially in the cricket ecosystem, so to speak. So I would like to request Dr. Aijaaz Ashai to speak about the fitness aspect and whether it is what he thinks about Shardul Thakur's observation specifically and his own take on the requirements of fitness at a time when you have as many as 3 different formats of the game being played simultaneously.
कौन सा दबाना है? Thanks for giving me opportunity to being with the legends. Being worked with Mr. Ashok Mankad to Bishan Singh Bedi Saab and to then Praveen Amre. I was fortunate enough to be 3 times with the Mumbai Cricket Association as a head physio, and all 3 times we have won the Ranji Trophy, Dilip Trophy and the other trophy. But it wasn't me, it was the team was so good, anyone would have been a part of the winning team. Thinking of pressure, as Parkar sir said, कि बॉलर को बॉल फेंका और वो वापस चला गया, that means there was no pressure at all. So they used to enjoy the game. Now the game has reached to the level where there's so much of pressure, but recently, don't quote me, because how Virat said, one of the media person, aap aake meri jagah khelo and see the pressure. And I tweeted at the same time, I said, Virat, you have been picked off 130 crores. If you don't take this pressure, you don't have any place in this team then. You have been picked off 130 crores. You are like a Prime Minister of India. One person. How can you tell a media person come? You know how much pressure media person has to write a small article? Everyone, tell me one of you who doesn't have a pressure. To come here, I had to leave my hospital to come. It's a pressure. Everyone has a pressure. So no cricketer should say that I have a pressure. They have been picked up to play there to take that pressure. If my Prime Minister said tomorrow I have pressure, I can't do it, then why the hell you are a Prime Minister of India? And once upon a time when Mr. Sunil Gavaskar was upset with me in Ranji Trophy 2007, so I said, sir, आप क्यों बोलते हो well tried? When they are trying to go for a catch, the catch is coming in their hand, they are dropping the catch. It's not well tried. It's a disaster for our cricketers. They are supposed to try. They are supposed to make the catches. बॉम्बे में अगर मैं किसी भी गोलगप्पे वाले को ले लूं कैच पकड़ने के लिए, वो भी कैच पकड़ने की कोशिश करेगा. We cannot say well tried for this. This is their bread and butter. They are supposed to make the catches. And that is called fitness. Fitness is not make muscles, not Salman Khan. We want fitness like Ravindra Jadeja, like Ajinkya Rahane. Today I watch him playing, running between the wickets, the mental pressure which they take. I remember I was with the team, which Sachin said it was his best innings of his life, where he made 233, and I was in the dressing room. And we were supposed to make 480 or something against Tamil Nadu. And Kaka was there. Kaka said, Master, the best thing I've ever heard in my life. He said, Kaka, I'll do it. These were the words, Kaka, I'll do it. And he scolded Wasim the way he said, Wasim, you have to be there. Unfortunately, 2-3 wicket fatafat gir gaye. And I understood what is mental strength. And I was a baby that time. That was my first season with the Ranji Trophy. And a person saying, I'll do it 480. So I told Paras, I said, Paras, he said, Master ne bola hai to kuch to hoga. And he made it. And we won the Ranji Trophy. Now I say, talking about cricket is something, we have legends here who have played cricket. So I'll talk about physiological change, medically, how we help cricketer. With time, I have learned the things, and I understood that there are 3 H's in cricket. We all should remember that physiologically, medically, because we are the only person who's medically trained in the team. So there's head, there's heart, and there's a hand. If your head stays cool, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, your heart stays warm, there's a maximum circulation to the periphery. Periphery means your hands and feet. So when your head stays cool, there's a maximum circulation. Heart takes less load. There's less nervousness. There are no tremors. So you show your skills, which you are selected for. But when you have nervousness, like Stuart Broad had when 6 sixes were hit by Yuvraj Singh. So I made a tweet, wrote a tweet that physio should have come after 3 balls running and give him some electrol water, give him some rest so that the muscle recoups and then he bowls again. It would have helped him rather than physio waiting for the injury. So these are the things we need to learn. As a medical person, I can train a player telling them like how Shardul played yesterday, but unfortunately then he made that pull shot where he tried to become a Brian Lara. He would have scored some more run if he would have stayed there, keeping cool. So I always say, if you keep cool, if you keep your head cool, your heart stays warm, you show the skill. That is what we need to teach under 14, under 16 and under 19 kids. You can't become Virat Kohli on first day. It takes time where your head has to be cool. And also the parents who are expecting their kids to perform a lot, which is impossible. We can't have every time a Sachin Tendulkar. We can't have Virat Kohli every time. But we can make them Virat Kohli and Sachin Tendulkar by giving them time, make them understand what are the physique, what are the physiological changes, how your body works, and what is the fitness level. And that's why in 2007, where I had a bit of issue with the MCA when I said I want to be in a selection committee meeting. So everyone got upset. Then I went to Professor. I explained Professor. I said, Professor, I want to be in a selection committee not to select the team, but I want to submit my report telling the chairman, captain and coach, these are the players who are fit enough to play. These are the players who cannot play because of the fitness issue, or I don't know whether they are fit enough or not because they have come from Indian team directly, in which we had Zahir Khan, Ajit Agarkar and Ramesh Pawar. And Wasim said, हम खेलेंगे किसके? I said, you have Dhaval Kulkarni, you have Rohan Raje, try them, but I can't write fit for the players who haven't been in the nets. So the pressure was on us as well, because we were the team person. I wanted Ranji Trophy to win. I wanted to say that every time I have been with the Bombay team, we have won the Ranji Trophy. Why will I leave any point? And when I came out, Zach and everyone shouted at me, Doc, तूने क्या लिखा? I said, मैंने लिखा नहीं, मैंने खाली बोला है आप लोग नहीं थे नेट्स में इसलिए मैंने लिखा है. I haven't said you are unfit. So that's how it's like. I always feel being with the Bombay team is more having more pressure than being with the Indian team. Because when I used to see the Bombay team, I used to feel कि बॉस इनके साथ जो रहेगा वो दुनिया के किसी भी टीम के साथ रह सकता है. And the way each and every player I had to change myself with them to change. Like everyone has a different mentality. So I remember I used to come in the morning on a bike. Me and Rajesh Pawar, we used to come on a bike, और सचिन की गाड़ी तभी आती थी. So practice used to start at warm up used to start at 9. हम लोग 8:15 8:30 आते थे. Sachin was the only person who used to be there. So I used to understand, yeah, this is what is discipline. This is what makes him feel there's no pressure on him, because he's preparing himself in such a way कि pressure का नाम ही नहीं है. When you prepare yourself for a competition, you're bound to perform. And but I understand there can be a very like ball of the century which can take Sachin out, which we saw when Dravid, Sachin, Lakshman and Shoaib Akhtar took them. These were the balls of the century. You can't help it. But at the same time, we understand the preparation. We understand the pressure which they are supposed to take. So from my side, I don't know how cricketers will take it. I feel the pressure is a part and parcel of the sport. And you're supposed to take it and prepare yourself to take this pressure. If you are not preparing yourself, that means you don't have a place in the team. Very simple. Today, Shardul made a century first inning. Like he played against Tamil Nadu. What was it? He was so confident. He came from the Indian team. He showed them why I'm in the Indian team. It's not only because of his bowling, because of his character. The way he came and delivered for Bombay. I salute him. I always say, I said, he should have said, yaar, mere upar pressure, main to bowler hu, mujhe kya karna tha? But he did and he delivered there. Perfect thing to do. So no one can question him. So that's one thing. Winning and losing is the part of game. But yes, pressure is supposed to take by the players. And main thing is the recovery. We had recently, I was in Delhi 2 weeks back, where we had a meeting for 2036 Olympics, where Modi Sahab has said, I want 2036 Olympics to be held in India. So there were the people from South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, who had come down to see that what we can do. So where we decided is a player needs a recovery. They need rest. A body needs a rest. It's not a machine. It's a body where you need rest. And Shardul is very right. If they have matches and they have bench strength, we call it second strength, which we already have Indian team. And if they have a rest period in between, we can get much better results. I feel he is very right, because they feel how much load is coming on their body, how much pressure is coming there on their body. And there is wear and tear, which is supposed to be there because they are the sports people. So wear and tear will be always there. But to recover and get 100% back, I remember, I think Mark Waugh, Steve Waugh fractured his nose and Gillespie fractured his shin. And both of them went out. And when they came back, Gillespie was bowling with 135 to 140 ki speed. Say, when he came back after recovery, he bowled with the speed of 145. That is fitness. That's what I feel. When you recover and come back, you should be able to deliver. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doc. There have been, as I said, 89 Ranji Trophy finals played so far. The 89th is in progress. And we have with us someone who has not only witnessed but also commentated during quite a few Ranji Trophy finals. But he happened to be part of the panel that covered the greatest Ranji Trophy final of all time live. Mumbai versus Haryana, a match that Mumbaikars prefer not to remember, but the sheer audacity of what the Mumbai team did on the last day has prompted people to acknowledge it as the greatest of the 89 Ranji Trophy finals played so far. Milind Wagle, sir, has been synonymous with sports commentary in this country for more than almost 40 years, if not more.
50th year now.
50th year, okay, I missed a decade, sorry. And he has also promised, he has made a promise on social media, on Facebook specifically, that he's going to try his best to try and get footage of that 1990-91 final from the DD archives. So, sir, all the best with that. But we would like you to talk about your memories as a commentator and the pressure that you may have felt in the commentary box, especially during that match.
Thank you. I'm going back to 19. I believe I've got 5 minutes, but I'm going to stretch it a bit with
Yes,
your permission, Devin.
Yes.
In 1964, I still remember, and I'm going to go back into history before I come to the Ranji Trophy matches. In 1964, Ted Dexter's team versus Ajit Wadekar's team at the police ground in Pune, 1964, was my first autograph. And my first autograph was Ajit Wadekar. Today I've got 15,000 plus autographs. Ajit was my hero. Ajit sir was my hero. As a quiz master, I'm going to ask this first question because that's the match which made an impact on me in 1968. And little did I realize in 1968 there was no television then. There was only radio. And that match in 1968 I watched from the North Stand. Going on now to commentate on 7 Ranji Trophy finals in Mumbai and 2 Ranji Trophy finals outside Mumbai. The ones outside Mumbai, where Mumbai was not involved, was Baroda versus the Railways at the GSFC ground. Amazing ground. Amazing ground. I don't know why they didn't play more cricket there. And the other was again Baroda versus the Railways at the Karnail Singh Stadium in Delhi. So 9 Ranji Trophy finals, but along with the famous Haryana versus Mumbai. So the quiz question to you is, because that's what made an impact on me, is who was the cricketer? Devin and Hemant can't answer that question. Who was the cricketer, or the only cricketer who's played football for India and who's played cricket for his state? Yeah. So Chini Goswami. 1968 from the North Stand. Bengal won the toss. I still recollect. I've got my Google, of course, because I can't remember 68. Bengal got 387. Chini Goswami 96. And in the second innings, he got 84. And my hero, Ajit Wadekar, got 133. Milind Brege, our good old friend, got 3 for 63 in that innings. Amber Roy got a wicket. Gopal Bose got 3 for 88. But one stroke which I remember, and that's why, reading has become so poor today. Chini Goswami, I think, came only from 2 or 3 out here. Reading has become so poor, and because there's so much of extra things available now. I still remember a square cut by Ajit Wadekar. Very powerful. Gopal Bose put his hand there and fractured it. So that was my first memory. Before I go back to the matches and including Haryana, as I said, a story which I'd like to narrate to you, and which was the story on pressure. This was the Bombay versus the Hyderabad match, the quarterfinals of the Ranji Trophy. Bombay was led by the greatest to me, because I've been a part of that family, regarded as the 4th son of that family. Ashok Mankar was the captain of that side. And there were youngsters. Vijay Mohan Raj from my college playing for the first time. Rahul Mankad, my dearest friend, lost him sadly this month, 2 years back. My best friend was playing that match. Sandeep Patil was playing that match. I recollect in the first innings he batted at number 9 or 10. Mumbai lost They made their debut, exactly. All 3 made their debut. Mumbai lost, conceded the first inning lead to Hyderabad. The side had Abbas Ali Beg, Abid Ali, Krishnamurthy, Narsimha Rao, Tiger Pataudi, Abid Ali, and Jayanti Lal. So I've counted 8 test players in that side, right? Mumbai conceded the first inning lead. Mumbai went into day 3. It was a 4-day quarterfinal, right? Mumbai went into that day at the end of the day with Kaka batting with 30 or 40 odd, and they lost. And at that, Sudhir was there. That's right. And that night we were at Vinu Mankar's house. We were there. Round the corner. Sindhu. Yes, few buildings away. One lane away. One lane away. And I was sitting there, honored to be in that August gathering. Vinubai, Ashok, Jiga, Rahul, who got a 50 the next day. And Ashok asked Vinubhai, what should I do the next day? The greatest captain, Ashok Mankad, asked Vinubhai, what should I do the next day? Vinubhai said, you don't have to do anything. Jaisimha will do everything for you. Because he is carrying the pressure. Vinubhai used the word. He is carrying the pressure. You don't have the pressure. You lost the match. You lost the match. You conceded a lead. So you got to do whatever you can. But Jaisimha wants to win the Ranji Trophy against Mumbai in Mumbai. And the advice that Vinubhai gave him is, do not use Paddy Shivalkar, use Rakesh Tandon. Vinubhai hadn't watched that match. Remember, there was no television. Vinubhai had not watched that match. He said, use Rakesh Tandon. Mumbai won at tea time by 70 runs and went into the final. So we're talking of pressure, we're talking of stories. Paddy had 4 wickets in that match and Rakesh Tandon had 6 wickets in that match, in the second innings. So that's the story which was telling you about a little bit of pressure that was used out there. The other one which was my first match as a commentator was in 1974-75. I just got into the world of television. That match was covered on what's known as the ENG camera. It was not a live match. It was covered with 3 cameras. And I still remember that match when Karnataka got 240 odd runs, I think. Who could have got 144? The one and only, G.R. Vishwanath. Mumbai got 305, in which Sunil Gavaskar was unbeaten, carried the bat through the innings. And I've spoken to Mr. Gavaskar about that innings of 96. I asked him, were you carrying the pressure because you had an excellent Karnataka bowling side. Prasanna was there, Chandrasekhar was there. They had A.V. Jayaprakash, if my memory serves me right.
Same match with us.
That's right. And he said, I had no pressure at all. So just adding to what some of you have added, Sunil said, remember 74-75, Mr. Gavaskar was just 4 years into the system. 71 obviously he played. Yeah, that's right. So Mumbai went on to win that by 7 wickets. But I'm again going back to the earlier match in the same season where Mumbai got 500 for 8 against Hyderabad. And what a partnership which I watched there and was lucky again to commentate on the ENG cameras. We were not live. We didn't have the big camera. Then Ramnath Parkar 197 and Ashok Mankad 142. Huge partnership. And then, of course, the first live match was in 80-81. I was fortunate to commentate on this match that he spoke of. Ghulam Parkar 121, A.V. Mankad 265, and my dear friend Rahul Mankad got 13 runs only. So again, I asked Jigabai, did you carry the pressure because he came in at the fall of the wicket of Ghulam Bhai, I think, right? And he says, no. When I watched the two of them sitting out, playing out there, where was the pressure on me? So I again, the word pressure wasn't there. Coming to the match, right? Doordarshan decided as usual to cover that match one day before. Just imagine, it's exactly like what happened yesterday at the D.Y. Patil Stadium. They decided to cover, of course, a different match, but they decided to cover the Haryana versus Mumbai match the earlier evening at 5 o'clock. The cameras went there. We did not have commentators. I was the only one available. I don't know why Shirish was not summoned. Shirish did a lot of commentary on sports roundup during that time. But Shirish, I think by that time, had got too much into badminton. I presume we didn't have commentators. So what happened? That night and early morning, we summoned my childhood hero, Salim Bhai Durrani. Doing his commentary for the first time, we called Kadubhai Ghavri, doing commentary for the first time, and we had a fourth commentator called Milind who was a radio commentator. Now, the word pressure, we didn't have a scorer. We had commentators, but we didn't have a scorer. I had started my career in 1973-74 as a scorer, statistician, Bibi Mama, Anandji Rosa. So they asked me, Mr. Wagle, can you commentate and do the scoring? So here I was. Did the scoring for the first 1 hour till we got a scorer in that match. And the rest is history. Haryana, not a great side. I can rattle out the batting order. Deepak Sharma got 199. I don't know where he went after that. There was Banerjee in that side. There was the great Kapil Dev, Chetan Sharma, Ajay Jadeja got 96 in that match. And Mumbai, what a side we had. Everyone thinks Dilip Vengsarkar led that side. Who led that side? Who led that side? No. Yeah. So Sanjay Mandrekar led that side. And not Dilip Vengsarkar. Everyone thinks. Yeah. So the side was Lalchand Rajput, Shishir Hatangadi,
Sanjay
Mandrekar, Dilip Vengsarkar,
Sachin Tendulkar.
Well, I didn't want to obviously mention, but Abhikuraval's debut, Salil Ankola, and of course Vinod Kambli. Yes, 45 in the second innings. Chandu, no. Chandu didn't play that.
He was there.
Yeah, Chandu played that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chandu played that. So what a side. Haryana 522 against a lethal bowling side. Ankola, Kuruvilla 4 for 128, Ankola 3 for 77. Sanjay Patil, the left armer, he was there in that side, and yet they got 522. Raju Kulkarni was there in that side, exactly. Mumbai replied with 410, in which the highest scorer was Sanjay Patil, 85. Came into bat, I recollect, at number 4 or number 5. Night watchman, that's right. Haryana 242, Ankola and Patil 3 wickets each, and then the last day. Well, I've got goosebumps here, needless to say. My house is under redevelopment. I have a feeling that parts of the match, my father would tape my commentaries. And I have a feeling that match, part of it, every day 1 hour, is on VHS tapes. So if I can get hold of them, because I doubt whether DD will have those are in the archives. At the DY Patil, I've told the producer to see if he can get those tapes. But the last day, as we all know, that partnership between Dilip Vengsarkar batting on one leg and Abhikuravala. Run out, rejoicement. Every time I meet Chetan Sharma, today he's there at the Wankhede Stadium, he called me up and he says, "Yaar, tu tab tha, ab yahan aake hamari commentary sun lena." So, as the event said, part of history, everyone remembers Mumbai versus Haryana. I've got Australian friends, English friends, who say that was the greatest match of all time. So, it's been a great memory, as I said, commentating on 9 Ranji Trophy finals. I also recollect the 1982-83 Ranji Trophy final, again, where Mumbai got 3 and...
Sorry to interrupt. And Haryana match was tight.
Which one?
Haryana.
No, we lost by 2 runs. We lost by 2 runs.
2 runs.
Yeah, one time. Abhi was run out, we lost by 2 runs. So, Mumbai got 534, in which Chandu Pandit got 157, and Karnataka got 551, in which my friend, incidentally, I did a Ranji Trophy match, I think 4 or 5 years later, Mumbai versus Bengal. Saurav Ganguly was a youngster then. He got 88 odd runs in that match. Came to the OB van and said, "Can I see my innings?" Little realizing that he'll go on to become India captain, board president, one of India's greatest players. And my producer said, "Bata nahi sakta hai aapko." So, and Saurav Ganguly every time he meets me, he reminds me, "Nahi bataya tha tabhi." So, Sadi Vishwanath, as I call him, was the commentator with me. We were only 2 commentators in that match. And in the match earlier, as I said, 82-83, Vishwanath got 92 and he got 77 in the innings, which, of course, Karnataka won on the first innings. So these are great memories of the Ranji Trophy. The word pressure I have honestly never heard anyone talking of the word pressure. I think Aijaaz mentioned that media personnel have pressure. Cricketers claim they have pressure. We as commentators have pressure. Because remember, there is no script when you're doing a commentary. When Shirish has done over a couple of 100 badminton matches, he doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going to happen in that match. We do not know what's going to happen in that a particular match. So the pressure word, I think, is a misnomer, not to be perhaps used, but we use it to ease the pressure on us. So that's it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Wonderful.
The word pressure is to ease the pressure. We will now throw the floor open for questions. If anybody has any questions for our speakers.
I would just like to say that one of the greatest finals I have watched as a kid was, I think, in 67 or 67, 68, where a young Solkar, Adikar played B.V. Kumar and Venkat Raghavan on a turning wicket at Brevon Stadium, and the whole 11 Bombay side was in Australia, with Umesh Kulkarni making his debut. Very good. That was, according to me, one of the finest finals I have seen.
Yeah, Rakesh, since you're saying this, if you recollect, Saurashtra was in Mumbai. 8 of the Mumbai players were in Australia. Ajit Wadekar got 130 odd batting at number 7. And in the next, Nyachand was the bowler for Saurashtra. And Mr. Wadekar was telling me when I came back, when I came back after that match, and the Indian team came back after scoring 100, I was wrong. So that was what Mumbai was. Today you get 100 and you cement your place in the side for the next 10 matches.
Why? 69 final. Ashok Mankad, Sudhir Gavaskar playing his second match trophy first game against Mysore. Got 100 in the first inning, 116 if I remember correctly. Kaka and Sunil had a partnership of 270 odd. Yeah. The highest first wicket partnership in Ranji Trophy. First match next season, Gavaskar was out. And he played because Mr. Wadekar had a problem that day in the morning against Gujarat. And I remember that day very clearly. And Sunil had to SOS call his mother and say, please get my pair of patch because he wasn't like that. And so the poor lady, sat in a taxi, and Sunil's mother, we all know, was not, at least the family knew that she never watched him play ever. So she dropped the patch at, Baat Choda, reception place. I said, please give this to Sunil Gavaskar, and she took the same taxi and went back home. So, I mean, this is Bombay cricket, and that's what actually, sometime back when somebody asked me to write on Bombay centenary, and I'd written about a letter to Jai Vista saying the same thing. So that if you don't get picked, don't go and run away to Nagaland or Manipur, because that's not cricket. You want to play. I mean, all of us have that opportunity. He knows, good, bad, I don't know. But we could have played for some other state. But that was Bombay ke liye nahi khelega na, forget playing cricket. That's the way we were brought up. Maybe वो एक क्या बोलते हैं वो हमारे coaches ने LB Kenny, Bhai Hazare, all these people put in Amladi sir, they put it in our system. And if you're not good enough to be a Bombay, forget playing cricket, sit at home.
So is it the word pressure, or is it the word, I think the questions are there, is it pressure or fear? Maharashtra versus Mumbai at the Nehru Stadium, Hemant won the toss. We had Abdul Ismail and the other end was Ajit Naik and Ajit Pai. Kanetkar won the toss and put Mumbai into bat on a damp wicket. Kadubai was the other bowler. Kadubai. And Mumbai went, there was a partnership between Mr. Rahul Mankad and Mr. Ashok Mankad. A partnership of 250, and the two of them staying in the same house, 2 bedrooms next to each other. They were not talking to each other. They won't walk down the wicket to talk at the end of this thing. Amazing communication, yes, no's and waits. A partnership of 250. There was no pressure.
Even
So is it the fear that Kanetkar put them into bat? So I don't know.
Even Sunil and Venksagar, Venksagar is habit, his run, he will take. Non-striker, no. Uska run and they were not talking, Ranji Trophy, because Dilip has made Sunil out, they were not talking. But they had big partnership without giving call, but understanding it.
Wonderful.
But that's the way. There's only one thing that I want to say about the topic of the day, this pressure. I know that Sunil Gavaskar, who was my classmate, I actually used to throw ink on the back of his shirt in class. Right through school, right through college, we be classmates. I know that he is responsible for getting me thrown out of cricket and moving back and telling the story. But pressure, please tell me one thing. Cherish, every time I go out to bat, there are butterflies in my tummy. And the day that the butterflies stop fluttering in my tummy is the day I know I should retire. That desire to do well is butterflies in the tummy. Now, if I can share, if I'm permitted to share a couple of stories. I am a failed cricketer. And that happened because my friend Shaukat Mukti here, who was also in the same child sheet team in St. James School, along with Sunil Gavaskar, Milind, Andawala, we had a good team. We had a sports director called Father Fritz, and Sunil is about him. Father Fritz used to be our English teacher, and I was one of his better students. When the list for making the school child sheet team, under 14 team, came up, there were 20 names. And it had to be pooled into 15. So during the trials, mine was one of the names in the 20. During the trials, I was invited to bowl to Sunil Gavaskar. I used to fancy myself as an off-spin like this. So I bowled the first ball, hit me over my head into the school building. Second ball, I tried to pull back the length. He hit me along the ground. During that particular over, he must have taken 28 runs off me. At the end of the whole session, Father Fritz, who was our English teacher and also our sports director, put his arm around me in what he thought was a fatherly manner and tells me, Shirish, I think you should stick to English. You turn phrases better than you do cricket balls. That's when I decided. That's when I decided I should move to badminton. But I never lost that love for cricket. So when I went to St. James College, the first year, when 66-67, Xavier's lost to Siddharth in the finals. Siddharth, we were in Siddharth, right? They lost. And the next 3 years, they hammered Siddharth. Every damn time in the finals. बहुत मार. I remember the second year.
Was that a virtual Ranji trophy fight for Xavier's?
Oh man, Sunil Gavaskar, Milind, Ramesh Nathe, Mahipendra Singh, Ashok Mankad, Atul Mankad, whom am I leaving? Jayendra Siddharth Jayendra Mahesh Sampath,
Mahesh
Sampath, yes.
But why were you throwing the ink to Sunil Gavaskar's shirt? I didn't understand.
I wanted his shirt to be, he needed to be shouted at by his mother. These are all schoolboy tracks.
I thought you were trying badminton practice.
Anyway, in the second year, I remember we bunked all the classes that we could and went across the ground which is now the football ground, MS Football Association ground. The match was on that ground, Siddharth versus Xavier's final. We won the toss and batted, and the first 2 hour session, 10 to 12. Xavier's were 210 for overs. Ramesh Nathe batting 140. Sunil Gavaskar batting 63 and 7 extras. I still remember that. Because Nathe was so good, he used to outpace Gavaskar 2-1. And he got a chance only in that Nagpur test. There also he was benched. He was in the reserve. He got so fed up. He left. Nagpur.
Lorry's team, was it Lorry's team?
And he migrated to the US. Unfortunately, he passed away. So this is the story that I want to share with you about my adventures with cricket. The other thing that I'd like to tell you is that the very first international article on Sachin Tendulkar appeared in the Cricketer London when Sachin was still 15 years of age and 6 months shy of his debut in Pakistan. It was written by me. I had gone to Shivaji Park because I had read a lot about this young guy, this 15-year-old guy, who is he bowls spin, he bowls pace, he bats like a tree. I wanted to see what is this guy. So I went and sat. I think it was at the Garden Union Ground, if I remember right. And the pavilion was a tent. So I was watching Sachin. I watched him bowl, I think about 11 or 12 out of the 32 overs that he bowled that day against Anjuman Islam. Shatashram versus Anjuman Islam. 32 overs of medium pace he bowled. And then he came and batted and was not out at the end of the day. So when he came back, I sat down to interview him. I brought out all the aspects of his character. He was so shy that, he was like Prakash Padukone later. You had to draw him up. You couldn't get answers from him. You had to literally draw him up. But that article appeared in the Cricketer 6 months before he made his debut in Pakistan. It was entitled As Good as Gavaskar, question mark. And what I did was I did a comparison and contrast of their styles of batting. So whereas Gavaskar is a master of defensive technique, this guy is 30 runs on the board in 10 minutes. Attacking batsman, lovely to watch, etc., etc., etc. But he still has his own defense. Gavaskar is basically just a defensive player. he could play silken strokes, but nothing like such. He went on like that. And I got paid £75 sterling for the party, which is a lot of money in those days. That was 8 cricket.
Devin, I forgot one incident which I must narrate out here before the next question comes in. And Hemant and Ghulam bhai might perhaps answer. As I said, I was blessed to stay for 9 years in the Parkar house and I stayed. I still remember asking Vinubhai, before he gave me a photograph as a collector which I have with me, the photograph was given to him by Donald Bradman, who came to see the Indian team off at Adelaide Airport. And he said, Vinubhai, Mr. Mankad, I've come to see you off and not the Indian team. And I asked Vinubhai, I asked him, I said, you were hit all over the place by Bradman. And did you have the pressure? So he said, I had absolutely no pressure. And that's what, since today is a discussion on the word pressure in the Ranji Trophy, for example, Vinubhai said, I had no pressure. It didn't bother me whom I was bowling to. He said, I bowled to the greatest of them all over the world, Huttons and, the others out here and Bradman out there. He said, I had absolutely no pressure.
This Ranji Trophy pressure has been not only from the players. Like I recently spoke to Robin Singh. First thing he told me, he said, Aijaaz, mujhe yaad hai, Santosh Saxena, unfortunately, who couldn't play for India, was plump LBW. And we were supposed to make 32 runs more. Sachin Dusre end pe tha. And umpire, Santosh didn't pick up his eyes. He kept the eyes down like this. He was plump in front of stumps. And umpire is one eye looking at Sachin and one side Robin. One side Sachin, one side Robin. And there was no third umpire. He said not out. And literally, Robin Singh banged his head on the wicket. He said, what the hell? How can you say he's not out? How not being not out? I can't help it. So the pressure is not only on the players, Ranji Trophy final. It's on the umpires. It's on the spectators. It's outside on the physios, trainers, coaches, everyone. So I found it like something which is really, when I came to know, okay, they're saying Ranji Trophy pressure. So I said, I'll come and talk about it because I have seen 3 finals and I have been in 3 finals in Nandili, but the other trophy, I couldn't find that pressure which was in Ranji Trophy.
Yeah, this is interesting talk. The main thing of Vijay Hazare, nobody has talked. It means that's quite tough. So he was a family friend of us. Vijay was very close to my dad. I asked him,
Who is the greatest fast bowler?
Ask whom, sir?
Vijay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who is the greatest fast bowler you have faced? He looked at me. He said, Grand State. The first ball was on the stumps. You could not do anything but concentrate from the word go. Second one, I said, which is the best innings you have seen, whether it is test or first class? He said, Khandu Ramnekar's innings against Maharashtra, which almost won the match for Bombay then. But because of wet gloves, he asked for a replacement of gloves. And the umpire said, hold on, after 4 deliveries, tricks are coming. That time, but next ball only the back slipped from his hand. And that innings is out of his field. Yeah, that's all.
I see, when I go to one guest and say office, they are all press, career sports, team sports. I love to see those things. Bad one of our cricket. Even here, I came to see. See, while playing also, it's smiling. So there is no pressure.
Correct. Correct. Wonderful. Very well said. Very well said.
What is this butterfly?
Smiling.
See, as I told you, there are physiological changes in the body. So everyone has a different mentality. Now, if you see Viv Richards, he didn't never any fear. The way he used to chew the chewing gum and come down, it didn't matter anyone. I remember one of the matches where there was Das. What was his name? Sundar Das.
Sundar Das.
She was the opener. Before going inside, McGrath told him, first ball I'll take you out. Now I remember he was being knocking and uske bat ko aise ho raha. I asked the trainer, I said, kuch hai kya? He said, nothing, doc, usko thoda. Then I went to him, he said, iske bolne se you felt like this? He said, no, doc, I'm okay. I said, leave it now. And first ball he got out. This is what happens, like as Gavaskar said, these are butterflies are to score the runs. It's not butterfly of nervousness.
It's probably what
It's
you
like-
experience when
yeah.
you're entering an exam hall to give
Correct.
your final exam.
So that's why they,
Okay, please
yeah,
don't
that's
quote
what-
me. I'll tell you one nice thing.
I'm not right.
When I was first time in Ranji Trophy, and every time Ramesh has to go in, he'll go to bathroom. Every time. It was his debut. So I said, what is happening? I don't understand. So he used to get the loose motions before going. Because when I entered the dressing room, I saw 9 players, Indian team players. Now it was debut of Ramesh Pawar and myself as well. So we were shit scared of everything. Seeing Sachin, calmly sir, we used to say, sir, please chaliye. Then Jatin Paranj pe, Wasim Jafar, Abhi Guruvilla, Sairaj Botule, almost 90% of Indian team. So he used to get loose motions before that. Before going to, and I used to tell him, I said, he said, doc, मेरी हालत खराब हो जाती है जाने से पहले. अभी मैं पहली बॉल डोल रहा हूँ, सब 10 के 10 प्लेयर मेरी तरफ ही देख रहे होते. And on top of that, because he had that weight का issue, which he wanted to reduce and become better, because unfortunately we couldn't find him with Harbhajan Singh for a long time. But this is what happened. Now Gavaskar had a butterfly of performing better. He had a loose motion because of the stress level, taking the pressure on himself because he had 10 players there. Now me being there, I was even nervous, I was even stressed, taking the pressure. If Sachin ko kuch ho gaya, kiसी को कुछ हो गया, इनको ठीक करके वापस खिलाना. Is that confidence which you need to bring up come with the experience and come with being there. So I feel like when we are with the team or a player, Ranji Trophy player is the team, and they know Ranji Trophy final, if you score a Ranji Trophy final century, you are knocking the door of Indian cricket. Or if you are taking 5 wickets, you are knocking the door of Indian cricket. So that's their bread and butter. That's what I
I'm
think.
going to ask Shirish a question to you. Nandu Natekar, the greatest, I think, of all. Did he ever tell you that when he played the All England or when he played the Thomas Cup, because the pressure would be any sport.
Yeah.
Today we are discussing Ranji Trophy. Did he ever use the word "mala pressure hota" when I played All England, when I played Rudy Hartono? He didn't. So there you go.
But there was one thing which I missed telling you because I think somebody said something and I got thrown off track. You were talking about Father Fritz telling me to stick to English because I turned places better than I did cricket balls. At the end of that particular session, he called Gavaskar over and in front of everybody, he fired him left, right, and center. So Sunil was shocked. Father, what did I do wrong? Why did you hit that horrible bowler over your head for 6? Play your strokes along the ground. I don't want you getting caught.
I was just trying to say big time because Sunil
Please,
never
let me finish. Don't spoil the thing because this is a very important thing. That is why if Yashasvi Jaiswal has hit 26 sixes in this series, Sunil has hit 24 in his entire career. That's the point.
Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, sorry. My name is Ashish. Hi. So, all of you all have, thank you so much for all the great insights you all have shared. I just said, is something called commerce also pressure today? Here's a question. Now, you all have talked about fitness, talent, Ranji Trophy, India. Today, there's this whole animal called commerce. And, which is far overpaying even talent in my view, and I'm a very immature guy here. But a Safras today, after getting into it, does he really want to hit a 50 to get 1 crore contract from Nike? And is there a fear there which is developing? It's an open question, but I'm just trying to understand is commerce and pressure linked. Thanks.
So the word fear, according to me, that's why I said not the pressure but the fear. You take the corporate world again. You got to get a sale of 100 crores from a company. I've been in the corporate world, so the fear of losing that contract or that sale, and not the pressure.
Like he said, think of the pride. He was today we know in the last 6 months people have skipped that and moved to IPL. We know people have done that, right? There's data around here. We know Safras. I'm just using the word because of fresh. We know this for a fact, and I don't think BCCI doesn't know this. I'm not getting politics out here, but I think the whole drive. I've got some cricketer friends who are saying, मेरे को ना 3 साल खेलना है और मेरे 6 से 10 करोड़ हो जाएंगे. मुझे शायद उसके बाद नहीं खेलना है. मेरा 26 में मैं खुश हूँ. These are not things you would have said earlier. So I agree with corporate sector.
I'll tell you one thing. I've seen senior players suffering a lot. We have seen senior players who don't have a house, who don't have money to make their kids study. There's nothing wrong in earning the money. If they're getting these contracts, there's nothing wrong in that. But skipping Ranji Trophy, Ajit Agarkar took I was amazed hearing that he has taken a decision throwing ire at this guy, telling them, Baba, you are not playing IPL, go and play Ranji Trophy. So, right. This is something which BCCI has to decide. And at the same time, IPL is nothing wrong. I always say, if you have a capacity of playing T20, 50 over match as well as test match, and if you are a real good player, why not do that if you have a capacity of that? And plus the IPL. But if you are taking off from Ranji Trophy, from test cricket and going and playing IPL.
If we can rephrase, I'm saying is the youngster today motivated to come to cricket for a 3 crore contract.
Yes.
Because money is something which is
not getting to a larger.
See,
it is.
see, IPL is not everything. See, they have to come through Ranji 3-day game.
Of course.
That's why Ajit was saying.
He did the right thing.
See, let me phrase where I'm coming from.
You are talking for youngsters. Youngsters should run. From where they should come.
See, today, let's look at Ghulam and me. 1973-74, we played Bombay schools. What was our objective? I mean, forget what we did after school, what degree he took or I took, was irrelevant. We wanted a job. If you play for university, you get a job. Who gave jobs? The Tatas, the banks, typically, Maftlal. Air India came much later, by as far as cricket jobs. PSUs came much later, much later. Idea was to get a job with the Maftlal, get a job with the Nirlon, or Tatas, ACC, So today, that you replace Nirlon, you replace that with the Mumbai Indians. Before Nirlon, before Tatas, there were the princely families. There was the Baroda family, rather the Holkar family. What was Shrike Naidu doing? I mean, okay, Rusi Modi did not play for India because he was not giving Rusi Modi the cricketer. Because his boss, the governor of Mumbai, He was the ADC to the governor. He didn't give him leave. So please understand. You see, there's been a paradigm shift in this whole cricketing employment. So today, what we were employing, right? Ghulam was with Mafatlal, I was with Tatas, so on and so forth, right? Today, the situation is that employment element. Okay, Ranji Trophy is now giving money, but how many people pay Ranji Trophy? How many people pay IPL? Count the number of people in India playing cricket. Every gully, just go to Facebook. Every father thinks his son is like better than Tendulkar. Videos galore. Okay. Now, I'm trying, please understand that my generation our generation has to understand, boss, ये shift hai. You're not relevant anymore. Don't tell him either khelo, back pakad ke khelo, grind karo. We don't believe in that. Their whole paradigm shift. He will not accept it. Honestly, we will not accept it. Our generation will never accept it. ये क्या आड़वा मारा, ये हुआ. I mean, कान के नीचे देते थे हमको यार एक ऊपर मारा.
But today you see Virat Kohli playing that stroke, you don't see.
No. Virat Kohli again comes from a slightly senior generation. I'm saying the modern cricketer, you talk about like what he said, 26 sixes as compared to 24. Look at the quality of bats, number one. Look at the boundaries, 60-yard boundaries. Yeah, hello, give me a break. Where will the bowler mar jayega kya? 60-yard boundary पे तुम bowling डाल रहे हो. ऐसे बैट है इतने thick. Edge लग के जाता है छक्का सब.
Support staff. We are not even the coach.
Huh?
I was playing, not even the coach. Here everything, support
staff, physio, doctor, and by the way, he mentioned something about Viv Richards. I'd like to just tell you one thing, that when he went to Australia for the first time, he went to a psychologist. Check it out.
Must be.
Major pressure, because Lily put that pressure on him. And he came out a very stronger man. So nobody is free of pressure. Chewing gum doesn't give you pressure. Fear of failure, I said that. Fear of failure, whatever. See, the thing is that you got to encounter, it happens everywhere, yeah. It happens in any game. Pressure of work. If you're working in a corporate, I was with an MNC for many years. I was heading the Corpcom for Viacom in India. We launched channels into India, including the Nicole. Do you think we didn't have pressure? Of course, the same pressure applies there. It's so different from cricket.
See, I had given, sorry.
But answer your question is very simple. Today, yes, there is pressure from the corporates. Shape up or shape out. If you don't do well for your team in the IPL, you won't get a contract next year.
Huh?
It's a fact. I mean, whether you like it or not. But unfortunately, our generation, we still continue. The Tatas continued to pay us. The Mafatlals continued until they were there. And the Mahindras continued, so we were lucky.
See,
but the money, obviously, the quantum was much less. Yeah.
I had a suggestion for the BCCI as well. When you got these psychologists to Indian team, at that level, their psychology has already developed at the top level. Now you cannot change their psychology. It's a system where you need to start with. Like you are getting Jaunty Rhodes to Mumbai Indians. Who is going to dive in Mumbai Indians like Jaunty Rhodes? Are they mad? They are not going to get injured. But if you get Jaunty Rhodes to my under 14, under 19 academy where I can make 30 more Jaunty Rhodes, it's worth to spend 2 crores on him. You're spending 2 crores on him in a Mumbai Indians. I got upset in 2000. I said, why the hell I need him here? I have to treat more injuries then. This is the thing, but when you have a psychologist in NCA and this psychology develops from there, they mentally get strong. This fear of failing, this problem, loose motions, other things can be stopped there only. And when they reach to this level, they understand cricket and they understand their body. There's pressure is not. Yeah, start from the root level, grassroots level.
How do you look at the role of the coaches? Because these days the mentors are even more important. But Ashai sir, Vijay sir, and many other coaches from your generation, they are more than the mentors, right? So the root cause of what is the values have changed. Most of the people in this hall are from old school of thought, but at the end of the day, old is gold. And where this will lead if the coaches are not given due importance in the whole system.
Coaches are being paid a lot of money in this.
And over there, the coaches were not job se karte hain, dil se karte hain.
They were doing it because of the love for the game. Taufik Ahmed, LB Kenny, Mumbai schools, just look at summer vacation. Taufik Ahmed, LB Kenny, correct, sir?
Yeah.
We went to LB Kenny, also to Taufik Ahmed. In South Mumbai, you had Hadkar sir, who passed away recently in Matunga. You had the great Anna Vaidya in not just one or two names like Amladi or anybody. So the point is that I think today coaching also has become a professional job. You leave cricket. None of them are graduates. What are they going to do? Tell me. If you don't make money, if you're not an IPL player or an India player, or a professionally qualified professional, writer, whatever it is. Where are you going to make money from? Coaching. That's all you know.
And
Watching or commentary?
Commentary is also.
Coaches,
गली में commentary होता है.
coaches very late. Should have been 15, 20 years ago. You could go and
Women's team
bringing.
is what the coach, Australian men's cricket team, they use the coach. The player power is sideline the coaches.
Of course, in India also. Why go abroad? How can you take a look at the number of coaches Indian women team have had over the last 5 years? You'll find, why did W.A. Raman go out? Why did Tushar Arote go out? So there are questions, So there is player power everywhere. Why did Anil Kumble go? Anybody has an answer? Can anybody tell us? Nobody. And this question about, I just want to digress here for a minute. Who said that the BCCI has taken out the contract of IPL the contract, not the IPL, nothing to do with IPL. As a contractual players, there is no Ishan Kishan, there is no Shreyas Iyer. Has anybody put on record it's because they didn't play Ranji Trophy? Nobody has. Problem with BCCI, upfront, honest, is no transparency. Say it upfront, like, we don't want it, we don't like it, we don't like his face, he walks badly, or he talks badly, we don't want it. Say it. Give a reason. It's never been transparent, number one. Where is it said that Ranji Trophy nahi khela? And Shreyas Iyer has played Ranji Trophy.
Yes.
How can somebody like even Ganguly, nobody, see, problem is nobody understands history. Today, I believe somebody put a post, which obviously it's not mine, it's a tweet thing. The commentators covering this match thought that Dilip Vengsarkar's last match was the Haryana match, which it was not. These are the kind of commentators you're putting there, whoever they may be. They may be my friends. Bhaiya, research kon baap karega aake? Sorry. Excuse me.
On MCA website, every job is there related to cricket. Every job. New job.
No, for that matter, Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
When did he last play Ranji Trophy? 2014.
See, that's the point. No, the point is, even today,
Jasprit Bumrah. Hardik Pandya.
no, he's been given special permissions.
No, but I'm saying.
No, but see, nowhere has it been written that these two contracts, I'm talking about two contracts. A lot of other people have also lost contracts, which people have not spoken about. Ishan Sharma doesn't have a contract. So many other people. I don't think Umesh Yadav also. I'm not sure. Contract in dono ka, not because they didn't play Ranji Trophy. It's the media saying ke Ranji Trophy. Or maybe the typical BCCI sources who are the biggest cowards in the world.
So maybe because they
They don't have guts to give their name and say, I am XYZ, I represent BCCI, I am speaking. I'm sorry to say, but transparency is the need of the hour. You're such a professional organization, Guru, itna paisa bana rahe ho, be transparent, yeah, what is wrong? You're not doing anything wrong.
No, but one thing, हम लोग जब खेलते थे एक टूर होता है, एक टूर या दो टूर होता है. अभी थोड़ा मैचेस चल रहे, तो उसके लिए they don't get chance to play.
Maybe because of the scheduling, I think that could be a reason.
Sir, हमारे जमाने में we used to play with Body Kaka, Babu Nadkarni, Eknath Solkar, all used to play club cricket. वो तो उड़ गया, वो तो है ही नहीं, वो तो चाह that doesn't happen anymore.
they don't play.
Madhav Apte, Madhav Mantri, Narendra Amade, all of them play.
And turn out the next morning for the other game. Even Madhav Apte has done
Very much my question from the princely states down to the corporate world, now to the IPL. My question is, and I don't think a lot of people think that people like you, me, him, Rakesh, Shirish, Shaukat Bhai, we are now the 60s and the 70s, so we are in a different zone altogether. Let me just complete. I'm saying, my question is extremely simple. You bowl 52 overs in the entire IPL season for 3 months or 2.5 months. Why should you bowl 30 overs? I'm saying, the guy says, why should I bowl 30 overs in a test match and a fear of injury?
Correct.
Or play a Ranji Trophy match and bowl?
Paradigm has changed. You see, we have our generation has to accept
he gets his 10 crores playing, bowling 50.
Our generation has to accept it. I am sorry to say, I don't see anything happening as far as Test cricket is concerned over the world over the next 10 years, 15 years at the most. It's honestly a dying art. So enjoy yourselves as long as it's there. Right. Nobody in the ICC is interested in that. Otherwise, I'm sorry, South Africa would not have sent a lesser than a club team to New Zealand to play. Okay, because the money is in where it matters, and that's what mattered even during the princely times. I'm sorry, they got money. They did. By the way, Vinu Mankad, my coach Guru, is I would say almost he was part of the family.
And
He was the first professional in India. First professional in India was Vinu Mankad. Did not did nothing. He told the Indian team, pick me in the 11 or pick me in the 15 or I will sign a contract. He did not play that one test match. And then he was called back because it was such a shame that we lost that game in 52, right? Lords, correct. That's why the Lords test, the Monkarts test, as they call it. He's a professional.
Yeah, I'll answer your question to some extent. I will not take the name of the cricketer. I was doing a Ramakant Desai Vijay Mandrikar trophy tournament at the Shivaji Park. And there was a guy sitting next to me. The IPL auction was on that day. This guy was slated to go in next. It's a different matter that he was playing for the office. Vijay Mandrikar, you know, the good old time, the Vijay Merchant single wicket tournament would have 15,000 people.
Yeah.
If you recollect, 15,000 people. He played that tournament. So the guy sitting next to me, he was watching the IPL auction. He was slated to go in next. So the player next to him asked him, he says, "Yeah, तेरा next batting है तो ध्यान नहीं देना." तो मैं कौन से क्या पढ़ा है? मेरे को IPL से पढ़ा है, because मेरा contract नहीं था.
But who wouldn't, Milind?
That's the answer.
Tell me, who wouldn't accept it? This generation, my generation has to accept it. Or move on, guys. They're not going to change. Don't expect them to become the old time like the, whoever the greats of our time.
Boss,
Accept
not
it. It's hardcore commercial.
Not only
Cricket is
players.
totally commercial. Accept it and move on.
IPL, before going to the dressing room, I won't take the name of the player. He was taken out of the bus to shoot for a shoot before the match.
Standard practice.
And not a manager, coach, no one had a guts to say anything to that guy. He took him out of the bus and then we have to finish the shoot within 10 minutes. That
They
is
have
good dressing.
commitments, yeah. That's how it is. That's
And
the
this
new
guy was
environment.
sold to that company. You can't help it.
Yeah. Even the sponsors or editors of the players who were everything, they were selection committee. They make effect on that player. They used to put pressure on selectors to take him because he's with them.
Yeah. Endorsement.
Endorsement.
I've seen some of the players playing in a rotation because they were endorsed by the company. एक बाहर जाता था, उसके बाद दूसरा आता. There was a group of players from Mumbai only who used to play in a rotational base. And I never understood. बाद में पता चला यार, it's all money. The thing is, money is there and they need it.
Look at the
But at the same
quantum
time,
of
not on the cost of cricket.
Look at the quantum of money. I mean, look at the quantum. कितना मिलता था पगार इसको मेरे को यार? How much? Look at today. Like somebody who's not even played for the state. Dhruv Jurel. अभी खेला ना इंडिया को. How much did he make in IPL? Much more than he and I will make for the entire career.
Sir, ये तो आपको खाली IPL दिख रहा है. I'll take you to the pro kabaddi. I'm doing since last 7 years
Amazing.
pro kabaddi.
Good. It's good.
जिनको 20,000 रुपया नहीं था, आज 2 करोड़ रुपया ले रहा है pro kabaddi player. Why will he play for the state?
नहीं खेलेगा. Why will he play? Tell me. What commitment are we talking?
Sir, I'm not going to play the ball. I would say what the price. The tennis ball.
No.
People about 5 lakhs. What even sir said, गली में खेल रहा है. सर 2-6 साल 4 लाख.
My generation accept today that this is life. Move on, because shape up or shape out, they're not going to change, trust me. And why should they change when they're getting that kind of money? Will I change? If somebody at the age of 21 gives me 5 crores, I'll say, nahi bhaiya, मेरे को ना Parsee Gymkhana CCI खेल.
The pride.
नहीं करेगा boss. मैं दिखने का पैसा. Let's be honest.
For the United States.
Enjoy. Give them back. Play. Simple. Nothing wrong.
I used to get pressure when the game is very close. Tie up होता है. बहुत pressure आता है. उसके लिए has to jump between the overs. Then I'm out getting.
सर मुझे आपका एक चीज याद है. अपना काका used to tell me कि हमारा जब कैच आता था तो पॉइंट पे अगर फील्डर होता था परकार सर, तो अगर लॉन्ग ऑफ पे कैच आता था हम उसको बोलते थे तूले और हम लोग खड़े रहते. ये सब, that's all about cricket. Cricket has reached to different levels now. We can't.
It's commercial and it's fair enough here. There's nothing wrong.
We accept it.
Just a couple of announcements. Mr. Karsan Dhawani could not make it today because his mother is in hospital. She's serious. And there are a few people who haven't registered. So those who haven't registered are kindly requested to register outside. And we'd just like to conclude the proceedings on a slightly lighter note. I think there are a couple of people here who have been part of. There are a couple of people here who have been part of an over 40s tournament in which they were captained by Praveen Tambe. So did you feel the pressure? Playing an over 40 student.
Of course, they
Tarun? Anybody would like to talk about that experience?
बॉलिंग क्या डालना है क्या है वो समझ में नहीं आया। 2 बॉल कहाँ गया मुझे समझ में नहीं आया, बट बाद में रिकवर किया मैंने। 3 बॉल बैट्समैन को मिस किया, बीट किया। पहला 2 बॉल मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा कि क्या किया।
Praveen is an amazing guy. I don't think it's pressure. I think he's just learning. I think what he's sharing is his experience. Obviously, he expects you to be a light and like he says, he's also like an in-between guy, right? So I don't know if you thought. So that puts pressure on the point position. While you may be a great fielder, you would leave a lolly, right? And when you're bowling, in my case, I'm a left-arm bowler. He gave me instruction on how to bowl each and every ball. Initially I lost it, let me be frank. Then I realized what he's saying is, when you've been selected, I'm assuming you have a pride because you've reached this level. So he said, you won amount 500 people, you've come in. So I'm just sharing my experience that you bowl this, and I just trusted him blindly. Because then you believe faith. So.
But you should, your captain.
Yeah, so then you're not questioned because he knows the conditions, he knows what you're playing. So I just followed him.
I think it a lot depends on the captaincy as well. How the captain, like how Ajit Rani has handled this
So
team.
you were part of over 50s tournament when yours got the pressure and in the morning you used to have only soup and noodles. I used to eat like a pig.
Okay, you had a question.
We see your crabs in Singapore. I was playing 6 ODI, 8 Guwahati. Question is, we won the World Cup. The press was saying, world champion, it's not world champion, it's a World Cup champion. So, West Indies came back here, 5-0 and 6-0. The questions. So, 6 ODI, I was playing it to Guwahati. Michael Holding, first ball, this first ball. उसने कहा ना घर से हेलमेट के बाद मुझसे गया बॉल जब पैच पे था ग्रीन पैच था उसने किया फिर दूसरी बार कुछ हुआ नहीं उधर नहीं किया फिर एक बार उसने डाला बॉल मैं इनसिंग करके आउटसिंग किया और इनसिंग होता मैं इधर घुमा तो वो सिंग गया मुझे से अभी मैं I was the highest scorer 42 in both the teams and I got 2 catches and got so I got man of the match. Though India lost, but I got man of the match because of building, not batting.
Yeah, you had a question.
Hi, so first of all, it's an honor to be sharing this book. My name is Zen. I'm the international brand on the tactical books. Needless to say, it's an honor to discover. So the question is written by my son, but he's feeling shy to ask me openly. So I'll ask for it. Yeah.
No, he should ask. That pressure has to come out. Go with that. पूछो पूछो come on, please. पूछो पूछो बेटा हिंदी में पूछना हिंदी में पूछो ले
मेंटली स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए क्रिकेट में पर मेंटली स्ट्रांग होना है प्लस सब परफॉर्म नहीं हुआ मेंटली स्ट्रांग हो टेक्निकली भी स्ट्रांग मेंटली स्ट्रांग उससे कैसे हो
भी बात करके आप स्ट्रांग हो
I answer your question. Dear Roger, I was building deep into it. He hit in sky, huh? I got slip. Yeah, I got slip. Then I catch and throw the ball. I said, no, I catch it. So it is in the heart. Mine, catch it. I will not drop it. When I got it. So one thing, Darshan Gauri for bowling, I was fielding a point. He was driving me batting. He hit. And ball came to side. I went to stop the ball. That's when I tried to stop the ball. My fingers went
the grass, hit, I got the catch. And because of the force of the stroke, I went and I fell down. So spectators just thought I died. I didn't die. I went for the catch to stop the. So it's always try. Go for
Give it
the
your
catch.
best shot. Is what.
If I can answer your question in a different way, I think the word is self-belief.
Correct.
The word is self-belief. As a youngster, I followed John Arlott and Brian Johnston. I don't know if you heard those names. One of the greatest commentators that anyone would regard. Alan McGilvery, John Arlott, Brian Johnston, Tony Cozier. I had an opportunity to do a 15-minute stint every day with Brian Johnston for 5 days in Nagpur. All India Radio did not get the rights. I was then doing it for All India Radio. And BBC saw me sitting idle and had a chat with me and they said, would you like to do commentary with Brian Johnston? Now, please remember the word pressure, fear. मेरा बचपन का हीरो मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि मैं ब्रायन जॉनसन के साथ 15 मिनट सिर्फ, right? But I had self belief. और it's a different matter कि मैं already 30 साल में हो गए थे commentator, but फिर भी मेरा बचपन का हीरो. तो self belief. The word according to me self. खुद में अगर confidence आपके पास है, सब कुछ बनता है. ये अगर इनको हमने you're not seen him field. He was Colin Bland वगैरह हमने नाम सुना है. ये कब नहीं था? He was there. यानी उसके सामने था. कोई भी अगर शिरीष, राकेश भाई, शौकत भाई, देवेन को अगर आप पूछोगे, he was there. It's a different matter कि इनके टाइम में इतना मीडिया टेस्ट नहीं था, टेलीविजन इतना नहीं था. वो चलता था. So why? And he came from where did he come from? You know, simple, humble guy. Maida.
See, I was building CCI Ghulam, who was batting from the batting, who was good hitter. But our bowlers were Jairus person, they were bowling a good line. I was wondering in field, I was feeling myself, I'm lying. That ball, I knew he did not take his short scoring, hitting it much.
He had pressure.
I guess the mental strength is something like who your father can only teach you.
Correct.
At home. How many times you're talking to your dad at home?
Very good.
Every time. What are you talking to him? Have you spoken to your failures about how many times he has failed? He has told you the stories. So you feel like you're failing. So first of all, your parents should talk about positive things only at home. They should not talk about the failures. You should understand how he has built this brand. How mentally strong he is. Like how Sir has come from the Maidans to the Indian cricket team. This is what the Indian cricketers, youngsters need to understand. They have to think positive rather than seeing these videos on a Google where the failures are shown.
Correct.
You just have to think positive. Everyone has a failures in life. It's not that you only or someone else. But to come to that level is only the guys who think positive. Positive thinking makes you perfect.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying losing, like Sachin getting out on some ball, goes next day to MIG and trains that. And literally I've seen it because I was treating his tennis elbow for almost 3 months. So I used to see him every day morning when he gets out, he used to work on that ball. That doesn't mean he'll leave that. No, he used to go and train for that. Plus, he used to think next day, when the same ball comes, I'll hit it for a 4. That is a positive thinking. Not getting fear that tomorrow the same ball comes, I'll get out. No, same ball comes, I'll hit it for a 4. That's how mentally you become strong. And the strength comes from the home, from your parents, not from the coaches, not from anyone else. It's basically from the family, your family background, your family. If they teach you reach the top. And I'll give you a simple example. I was for this yoga day. We had Shilpa Shetty, we had Vicky Mehta, Amitabh Bachchan. So everyone spoke about yoga. So they told me, I said, I don't have any idea about yoga. What will I speak? So I asked them, I said, what is yoga? They said, it's a connectivity. And there were like thousands of people. I said, connectivity with whom? They said, connectivity with Paramatma. I said, boss, I'm sitting here and thinking कि इस आदमी को कैसे गिराऊं और इसकी चेयर पे बैठूं. I'm not able to connect him. How will I connect God? So if you're not connect to your father, how will you connect the coach? So you have to connect to your parents first. You have to connect to your father, who will explain you how I brought you to under 14 to under 16. Now that's where you need to work with them. That respect, that feelings, that mentally, that's the strength. If you can do that, then
How Dhoni finished the game, winning trophy. So no negative thinking, positive.
that's a
Today,
matter.
Australia beating New Zealand. 99% of people, including me, thought it's a matter of time. Top order got everyone. Alex Carey goes and gets 90 because he believes. Believe I think I can do it. That's what your mantra should. Very small incident I remember getting Ponty here in his first coaching assignment in 1999. I was with started a website for cricket, and we had this little coaching scheme at Land's End because it was raining in Mumbai. So we had simulated like ground and all that. And there were a lot of young people. I think Ajinkya Rane was also there. I think so. I'm not really sure. Then one boy asked him a question. In front of everybody. Says, "Sir, how do I cope with failure?" Same pressure. Right? How do I cope with that? This is Ricky Ponting, who at that point in time was just dropped as the vice president, vice captain, and Adam Gilchrist was put in his place because of that bar incident, some problem. And so, you know what Ricky Ponting told him? He said, "Spend time with the positive people." Exactly what he said.
Correct.
Look at the people in your team who are positive. I know, I being not obviously not him. I wish he was my partner. Believe me, I wish he was my partner forever. I would have played some first class cricket somewhere, but he wasn't. But I played with some people who used to go in the morning and say, "Kya hai batting hai." So you know that batting hai, kya wicket bana hai. So either lagega. There are people. I don't want to name them. They're friends. All our friends. We all know them. Quicker. Oh. Good people who got hundreds in Ranji Trophy. They also done that. So positivity is. He said, spend time with the guys who are thinking positively. Do not spend time with anybody who's saying, "Arey yaar, हाँ तेरे को ना बड़ा umpire ऐसा ही है, खराब ही होगा." तू knock out था. These are the guys who should actually. I mean, in whichever sphere. This is cricket we are talking about. It could be a work, could be professional or whatever. Don't spend exactly. That's what Ponting. This is. I'm not speaking. This is quote unquote Ricky Ponting.
You move out of cricket, you take the greatest sportsman of any time. You take a Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt, you take the 4x400 meters American relay team, they all come from the ghettos. Ghettos क्या America में तो हम ghettos बोलते हैं उसको. They come from the झोपड़पट्टीज. And they want to become. Yeah, but I'm saying. I'm not saying okay. I take back that. But they come from humble background.
And don't feel shy of asking questions. Maximum, what will happen? We'll say, "Arey, Sure, you should answer.
Also, there's one doubt which we both have. He's an all-rounder. He's a batsman also. So whenever he is 16-year-old, he goes to most of the selection to 15 and 19. So there is a criteria that you cannot showcase people that. Either you can show if you are a bowler or you are a batsman.
But that's not true.
I don't think that's not true.
You don't showcase
that's not true.
You showcase in matches.
Yes.
But
Nobody can stop you.
Selected is
You're playing some match to get selected, right?
No, for the selection.
in the camp.
So
For example, as you may do some of the camp selection that happens.
what camp selection?
Summer camp.
Hey, but you're playing for some club. Hang on. You're playing for some club, right? No, that is where you showcase. That's where you get the runs. The runs are not found on videos. Or next in the house, my son plays so beautiful. We go get runs. That's how we saw Tendulkar. That's how we found CCI found it. Whichever team found whoever. It's always in the matches. It's not in your videos.
Point is fair. What I'm trying to say is that, so for example, he goes for the selection and he says, "I'm an all-rounder." The question comes that you have to showcase only one thing. Either you go down as a bowler or you go down.
This is the first time I'm hearing this, honestly. I don't know who this person is, but that's not a good thing.
I would like to request.
So the question mark that comes.
Yeah, I think what we can do is maybe we can take it offline. Yeah, maybe we can take it offline.
Sure.
Because we'll surely be here. So
Sure.
there's a lot of people, obviously.
I would like to request Marcus to deliver a word of thanks.
Yeah. Thank you first for sponsor us. You want to talk?
No.
For sponsor Active Sports, Jack and Jones, Avishya Sports, Parsee Gymkhana, Devendra Prabhu Desai, Ghulam Parkar, Hemant Kenkre, Milind Wagle, and also Clayton Mursello, and my friends Shirish Konkar, Amogh for recording, and Dr.Aijaaz, as usual, always ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, let's.